and Travis Glover. The joy of Bryce Newman is gone.
Peter. I'm calling him out.
Caleb Jones was released as well.
Yes, Caleb Jones. I'm only calling out Peter right now because he wanted us to have Royce Newman. Missing Royce Newman needs to be back. Peter, no.
Well, too bad. The Bucks have him now.
Yes. Go ahead.
It was also said that Sean Ryan is the starting right guard for now.
Oh, I didn't save the depth chart. We could have looked at that, I guess. I didn't say that. Do you have anything else to say about these women?
Oh, yeah, it looks like a solid lineup for offensive linemen. Everyone's. We'll see how Josh Myers does. If he messes up again, there could be time for Jacob Munch to replace him.
So, okay. Speaking
few weeks, I think Cleveland's going to struggle.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson has been washed. He's returning from his own ACL, his own injury to end the season last year, and the Cowboys will do just enough to win thanks to Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. And even with the new Ezekiel Elliott that is not his prime self. So, but Michael Parsons is still there on defense, and it'll be an ugly game. I say 20-17 Dallas.
Yeah, I can see something right around there. I think Dallas definitely wins. Just if nothing else, as good as the Browns' defense is, I think when it would come down to it, I think Dak and Lamb would find a way just to take over and get the needed points, even if it's just getting them into like field goal range or something like that. So I just think they find a way.
Oh, I put Browns question mark, but I'm going against my pick on paper because like I forgot Lamb is still a Cowboy is the thing when I did this, and I said this Peter or James has Dallas has no running game.
Well, I mean, they're still Ezekiel Elliott and Dalvin Cook, but both are passing.
Oh, that's right. Dalvin Cook is a Cowboy now.
And I mean, I know Dowdle's not great, but he's not awful, especially as like a change of pace option.
And Cassie also has the Cowboys over the Browns. And I said disagree. I have the Cowboys. Lamb all day. Plus, I love Lambs. LOL. That's what I said.
Plus, I do think there's actually one player in the Dallas's offensive backfield that a lot of people are forgetting about. I think Deuce Vaughn could legitimately break out this season at some point.
Are you ready to say my pick? Another one that the Cowboys that a lot of people are forgetting about.
Yeah.
Their wide receiver, the one that freaking wanted at the draft, Ryan Flournoy, is a Cowboy. He's a slot corner. He's a slot wide receiver, and is very good. Oops, I'm gonna take off this banner really quick. I have so many banners going on over here. So for me, I just want to say thank you so much for letting us hit 100, and I think we're over it now. I don't know officially. I got told that we're going to be hitting over it tonight, so I just want to say thank you. And I know I told people we have something. However, it is not done yet, but I will show you. So I bought this diamond art painting. I don't remember when. It was during preseason sometime. But I bought this. So it's gonna be up behind this, not this wall, but on my door. And it says Mary, and it says 24 when we hit 100 subscribers, when we interviewed Tom Grossi, Fan of the Year, and when we interviewed Dennis Cochran. Speaking of Dennis Cochran Band, this Sunday night is their first tailgating party against the Texans Bears. So if you're in the Texans area, please go to and support them. Please support our friends.
Support the Texans too while you're at it.
Well, yeah, but the Dennis Trailer Park Country are our friends. So wait,
good point, Mary. Like, feel this way, and I don't know if this is the way it's been historically, but the Vikings seem to have had our number when they're come to Lambeau, and then we seem to have their number
Yeah.
when we go into US Bank Stadium. So
Right. I think it's because the Packers are used to be playing in the cold. They have to get
Yeah.
like their feet like in the cold more, maybe. And I feel
Yeah.
like that's why it's going to help actually the the Dolphins coming to Lambeau.
yeah,
It's in the cold. It's Thanksgiving. It's going to be snowing, hopefully. It's Joe Barry coming back too, is what people have to remember. It's Joe Barry's
yeah. We don't want to be in Joe Barry prison anymore. That's for sure. Yeah, the Dolphins. Well, yeah, right too. Like the Dolphins coming up. I mean, who knows when Tua is going to come back, or if he's going to come back. He probably should not come back.
I did see something about Tua today. Hopefully, maybe after week 8, he should come back. That's what I saw today.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I get it. It's a lot of money. It is such a violent sport, though, and like it's probably going to mess him up for the rest of his life, like no doubt. So, I mean, I get it. I do, and it's something that he loves to do, and it's his passion. So, in the end, it's his decision, and obviously the Dolphins would be thrilled, but he can't take any more hits like that. Like, I feel like we said this the last time or two, right? And it's like the 4th or 5th time it's happened.
Yeah, didn't we say this against the Packer game too? Like Christmas a couple of years ago? Didn't we say the exact same thing? Kind of like he should not have played or something. And then here he is.
When the Packers went down to Miami. Yep. He went in the game. He got concussed and he stayed in there. Wow.
That's crazy. It's like, who knows? Xavier McKinney. We have to talk. And what are your thoughts about Gutekunst? Do you like the guy? Do you like him?
Do I like Xavier McKinney?
Do you like Brian Gutekunst?
Goody. Yeah.
Goody. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think so. Obviously, he's like how do I explain this? He's like Ted Thompson light. Like he's not quite Miller, but he's Miller light. He is not as near as conservative as Ted Thompson is, who is strictly draft and develop for the Packers, and rarely, although he did, rarely went out in free agency. I think Gutekunst is willing to test the waters a little bit more. Obviously, you saw that this year. You saw that a few years back too, with Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith when they had that really good duo that first year. So I like that he's able to splash on that. I think he's got a good eye out for talent. Now, some of that is still out on, your Lucas Van Ness. Who knows what the heck is going on with Rashawn Gary this year. I know they've had to play a little bit more contained with some of these mobile quarterbacks, but, he's not winning on a lot of his pressures. And I think, according to at least PFF, Kingsley and Agbari, and I could be wrong on this, had the best win rush percentage from this last game against the Vikings. So that's not good. So I think the case is still out on, but if he hits on Love, like if he hits on the number one most important position, which I think he has, you saw the scope of not even the ceiling of what that could become in that second half. I think he's done a pretty good job so far. Yeah. Yeah.
So one thing I want to start talking about Xavier McKinney for, he has a streak of 4 straight games with an interception and is tied for the second longest streak in Packers franchise history, behind only Irv Comp 5 in 1943. Yeah. So he could do it by the Cardinals game. It's possible.
Yeah. Phenomenal. Easily the best safety since Charles Woodson / Nick Collins. I mean, duh. 4 games, 4 picks. He was the highest graded defender too in this last game.
Yes.
Again, I think according to PFF, he's got to be one of the top defenders on our defense, if not the top defender. His attention to detail, and not only that, I think Hafley talked about this in his press conference, but the dude comes in and works. He's not just oh, dude, I got a ton of talent. I can roam on the back end, play cover one, and I'll go side to side, right? He actually studies films. He knows tendencies of quarterbacks. He knows what spots to be in. He knows he takes good angles and good routes to the ball. And correct me if I'm wrong. There hasn't been a deep shot on us so far this year, right? Where somebody's caught it and then ran for a touchdown. I don't think so.
No. I mean, are you talking about for defense?
Yeah, for like Xavier
I
McKinney,
mean,
like him giving up a deep shot. Like,
not
remember we were in that purgatory like with Savage all the time and Amos,
not
you know?
Xavier, not that I can
No.
remember.
No, I
Yeah,
don't think so.
I was gonna say the only one that I can think of, but it wasn't like that. It was a defensive pick six would be a Jair against the Titans. Like,
Yeah.
so another note that I have to say is McKinney is the first Green Bay Packer to do so in 4 straight games since Nick Collins in 2009.
Let's go. Let's go.
Mhm.
You know, from all the emotional roller coaster that I took from this last week, and you can see it, you go Robert 79 and my ex with that game with the Vikings.
I saw it.
Depressed done at 5 minutes and whatever, some change in the second quarter to the second. Like, oh my, 28-0 and to almost come back, which
Right.
would have been the biggest comeback. They said it on the broadcast. I can't remember what it is
Mhm.
now. Man, that'd have been awesome. And like, dude, we can score in like 2 seconds. Like,
Mhm.
remember when we got that ball? It was like, I think it was 22-28, was it? But
Yeah.
then we scored like within like 60 seconds or whatever.
Wasn't it like 96 yards or something? I saw.
Yes.
It was
Yep.
crazy. Yeah.
No, it was big. So,
Okay, you mentioned kicker. I have kicker next.
yes.
Braden Neverson. Thoughts?
So long are the days gone of Mason Crosby. Bless his heart. Was it Longwell? Yeah, before,
Mhm.
and then the guy before that, where we're just steady at kicker.
Mhm.
You know, now we're dealing with all the. Can I swear on this podcast, or do you want me to say
Okay.
crap?
Okay.
Okay, all the shit, you know, that the rest of the NFL's got to deal with now, as far as these kickers coming in, these kickers going out. You know, you're drafting kickers. Some of them are working, some of them aren't. Brandon Darvis has definitely got the talent. I think Anders Carlson definitely has the talent. It's super, super hard to kick. But like when you're missing 37-yard field goals and like literally perfect conditions, and I don't think I saw anything wrong with the hold. There's just not an excuse for that, you know. So I think it might be something, and I've alluded to this before on Sounds Good with Jordan. But it's like your golf swing. And golf is super, super hard. I'm not one to talk. I'm not a professional golfer. I stink at golf. But like when you feel one go down the middle, you're like, okay, all right, I think I kind of get it. And then, yeah, you might have one curve a little bit. You might want to have a hook a little bit. But you at least know the general feeling of what that felt like. I feel like he needs to hit like flush throughout a game and make all of his kicks. And then I think that builds a lot of confidence in him. He's not missing extra points, so that's really good, you know. But it absolutely kills me to know that we had Greg Joseph in for the competition. I think some other Green Bay Packers podcasters have talked about this as well. But like that Thursday night, like the dude went for 5 for 5. But then like when he was in Green Bay, he was missing everything underneath the sun. It's just like, man, we are in kicker hell right now.
So what has to change? Is it Rich Bisaccia? What do you think?
I mean,
special or long snapper?
It's so hard for me, like with coaches and players, and I do think that it does need to be a good mix or two. But hell, Phil Jackson is not winning 11 championships if he doesn't have Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Kobe Bryant, and Shaquille O'Neal, right? So is it like the coach? Oh my God, he's an amazing coach, right?
Right.
I think Bisaccia is a good coach, but I think the players need. I think Narveson needs to execute better. Now I don't know his routine. I don't know how many kicks he's getting in. I'm sure it's kicks galore. And sometimes, you know, you just don't have it. I believe they're going to give him the leash throughout the year, kind of similar to how they did with Anders Carlson. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe they pick up a Riley Patterson or whatever it is.
Okay.
And still some confidence in him, really. I mean, you know, as much as you can, fix his mechanics, fix any sort of technical issues, figure out his best spots to kick, what he likes to kick in, what he doesn't like to kick in. I mean, get to know the guy back and front, left and right?
Yeah.
And then if he's still missing kicks, okay, then, you know, cut the dude. Austin Seibert was another one that was on. It was like between Austin Seibert or it was like Narveson. Seibert went to the Commanders, and he's absolutely killing it. He's like 19 for 19 on field goals. I'm kicker jealous right now. I'm very kicker jealous.
One name that I have mentioned is Brandon McManus, a former Jaguars kicker.
Yeah. Is he out in the streets still?
He's a free agent. Because he had legal issues is the thing. He had legal issues that all got cleared or something.
Absolutely. I don't know his field goal percentage and stuff without having to Google search it, but
Hey, chat, if you guys know it, put it in comments, please.
yeah. What's Mason Crosby doing these days?
I think he's retired. I think he's retired.
Come on, back.
I think he's retired, sadly. I mean, he did bad against the Giants, though.
I know.
Like,
anybody in the chat, though, I mean, let me know if you're wrong. You'd take Mason Crosby over Narvison right now, right?
Yeah.
Let me know. I think I probably would.
yeah.
It wouldn't happen, but
One thing to know is Mason Crosby did horrible his rookie year.
yeah.
Braden is a
Good
rookie.
point.
Braden is a rookie. Give
Yep.
him to him.
Absolutely. Glass half full. I do love that. But also, make your 37-yard field goals in perfect condition there, guy.
It was windy, I heard, at Lambeau on Sunday.
Yeah.
Also, the Packers brought in Chad Ryland, who is a former Patriots kicker, too, today.
Did they just do that?
Yep, today.
Okay.
So
And
maybe.
Maybe, we'll see.
It was just like a tryout, kind of, from what I've
Yeah.
seen.
I mean, I think
Also-
Gutekunst has admitted it himself. He's not as patient with special teamers, as Ted Thompson once was too. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, 3 points would have won us the game. So
we also brought in a quarterback, Gavin Hardison.
Oh, practice
which is
squad?
Interesting. Gavin Hardison. Maybe. I don't know.
yeah.
I just saw these today, so I'm like,
Did you? Yeah.
I mean, I saw it and I was like, maybe we should take these notes.
Yeah, I know. It was good. Those are good notes. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Speaking of special teams, punter Daniel Whelan.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Checking us out.
Yes, please do, guys. There's a lot of Packer content out there. There's a lot of
Absolutely.
us. There's Isaac. There's anyone that you can think of. Any sport too. So you were talking about the game on Sunday. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna catch on to these two comments. I haven't been for a while ago. What I
sure.
heard is the Packers haven't won in LA since 1966. No, December 18th, 1966.
What?
Nope.
Who's spilling that knowledge? That
She
bucket
said
of knowledge.
TV. She said TV.
She said
She said
TV's in
TV
here?
said that. Yep, today.
Oh, hello.
He's not in chat, but he said that earlier today.
Oh,
Or
gotcha.
comments. Just to
Gotcha.
listen. Yep.
1966.
Yep.
Man, we suck in California.
Yeah.
And Florida, actually, where you're from.
Hey!
There too. The Packers do, right?
I was gonna say. Yeah.
Well, no, Packers went to Miami, but I'm thinking
Yeah,
Tampa
but
Bay,
Tampa,
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
I
been a
think
lot.
It just depends on when, though, is the thing.
Absolutely.
Because, like, right now we're in hurricane season, and for those that are wondering, I know I told Rob this. We're okay in Southwest Florida.
I did ask, by the way. Well, you all know that.
We're all safe in Southwest Florida, luckily, from Hurricane Helene. However, Hurricane Kirk is around the corner.
Man, your guys' houses have to be like steel, right? Like
They're
it's just-
prepared. Yeah, they're like, I know I told Rob this behind the scenes, but Hurricane Ian is my local beach. They're still preparing from that. They're still fixing stuff from that. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's.
I mean, dude, seriously, and I'm sure from all of us, just stay safe, please.
We are.
You
We
know?
have hurricane shutters everywhere. Like on the windows, you can probably see them. They're hurricane.
Oh yeah, I do.
We're prepared.
Yeah, to everyone down south,
Yeah.
man. I feel for you guys. It's just brutal, man. The weather
And the season doesn't end until the end of November.
at the end of November. Oh my gosh. So, all right, before we
Yeah,
please,
go ahead.
and maybe someone else in here knows about this too, but tell us about these hurricane parties.
Oh, yeah. So
These are real.
Jordan's made a lot of great throws, so it's hard to pick one when you're talking about how a great throw that he's made. But yeah, he made quite a few. great throws in this one. That's for sure.
Justin just said the Tucker Craft touchdown was like a Favre like great laser pass. Yeah, that's a good point because I don't know about you, but I've seen Love determined as a Favre and Rodgers for comparison. I'm not sure about you. What do you have seen so far?
I would. I mean, if you look at the box score specifically, he definitely looks a lot like Favre. A lot of touchdowns, a lot of interceptions. I think he's a little bit of both, if I'm being honest. I don't think he's going to be a guy that's just going to throw near as many interceptions in his career as Brett Favre did, and obviously he did learn under Aaron Rodgers. So I think that some of that is going to help him out. And I think he's going to continue to get better at protecting the ball like he was towards the end of last year. So I'm not too concerned about that. But I mean, obviously, certainly something that would be best if it could be cleaned up sooner rather than later.
Don't like the turnovers. Much of Houston's points were scored, and thanks to the turnovers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point because
yeah, for sure.
Pretty much. Did you see that? I don't know if you saw that.
I did, yeah. Saw the clip.
The Lambeau Leap is so special. Like you said, I don't care who does it. Anyone can pretty much do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I saw Aaron Jones do it at the Vikings game too yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel to finally have a kicker?
Oh, it feels amazing.
So are you, speaking of kicker, let's just get into kicker. Brandon McManus. Were you yay for him, nay for him? How were you feeling?
Yeah, as far as McManus, when they signed him, he had the off-field issues, and I'm never a huge fan of signing anyone with those type of blemishes to his record, I guess. But I mean, they needed a kicker, and they trusted the investigation. Goody came out and said that. And so I trust the Packers organization for now, and I'm sure, McManus is going to be on a short leash, and if something like that happens again, he will be gone. And so I trust the Packers in that regard. I really did not like that part of it, but they were desperate for a kicker, and I think McManus is that guy that can really lock things down for him, that veteran. Certainly not a long-term solution, but he should be great for this year for a team that's, looking to compete.
Long snapper. Matthew Orsic was released today due to Jonathan Ford coming back off IR. What are your thoughts about Orsic?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of him. The Packers have not been able to seemingly find a long snapper. I don't think they've had a really great one for quite some time now. And that has impacted. I mean, that does, make a big difference. At least half of the whole field goal kicking process is the snap and the hold. And so you want to have someone who can give you that good snap. And we have not really seen that from Orsic. He's been quite inconsistent. Mm-hmm. And from what I've seen on X from Packers beat writers, it really seems like Orsic is going to be back with the team. This is just a move to keep Jonathan Ford on the roster, keep him from reverting back to injured reserve for the remainder of the year. And they will likely bring Orsic back because obviously they do need a long snapper. And they've not been able to find really any other great options. So I anticipate him being back, but they certainly could do better at the position.
For me, I would have preferred Peter Bowden back from Wisconsin in the rookie, the long snapper, but he's trying out for the Dolphins, unfortunately. I
mean, I don't really know. It's hard to scout long snappers, but I mean, the fact that they did release Bowden over Orsic tells me that probably he wasn't really the solution either, and so I guess it is just hard to.
Oh, that's what I thought.
Looks like he tore his ACL and MCL, so that's longer recovery. So
and Debo has pneumonia. Oh no! There's our answer about the sickness. Oh no.
Yeah.
NFC North. Tough.
Yeah. NFC North. Looks like it could be almost the best division in football right now.
I think it is the best division right now.
Yeah, and something I know people were talking about that coming into the year. I didn't really anticipate that happening because I thought
Okay.
the Vikings would probably not be nearly as good as
Yeah.
they are.
Yep.
And I expected the Bears to not be all that great, which they didn't start all that great, but they somehow are still 4-2 right now and in fourth place. And you got the Packers now in third place behind the Lions and Vikings. So this is going to be very interesting. I still think it's going to end up being, well, I don't. I was gonna say I think it could be Lions or Packers, but I don't know. I'm not sure actually see
Yeah.
the Vikings tailing off. I think they've sustained success enough now that they could remain, keep winning games here. They just got done losing their first game of the year. So
Oh yeah.
I would say it's probably going to be the Lions, as much as I hate to admit it. I'm not sure if the Packers will be able to catch them. I realize it's only one game, but the Lions are playing very well. In
Right.
fact, maybe better than the Packers. I think
Yeah.
the Packers could end up playing better by the end of the year, but I think the Lions
Yep.
are still going to win a lot of games, so I'll go with them.
James just said, honest opinion, are the Bears a playoff team? I think all NFC North, because I don't know if you guys saw, but as of yesterday, or as of today, apparently, every single NFC, if the playoffs started today, all NFC North teams would be in the wild card, which is
Yeah, that's
crazy. Like, who would expect all of one division to be in it? I wouldn't.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't either, and it's certainly something. It's pretty crazy, and you got the Bears with a rookie quarterback who I realize is a very great talent. I'm not denying that at all, but rookies tend to start slow, and I mean he did start slow, but Bears are still finding ways to win with that great defense, and that's the sign of a good team is resiliency, and we've seen that out of the Packers as well. And the Bears have been able to stay in games and are sitting at 4-2, firmly in the playoffs at this moment, and they're fourth in the division. So it's going to be very interesting to see how things shake out as we continue.
I was going to say the
through
next
rest of
biggest
the year.
matchup is going to be Week 11, Packers versus Bears. That's going to be fun.
That's going to be fun. Yeah.
Justin said he's not sure about the Lions. Hutchinson being out could mess that up. Yeah,
it could
with the compound fracture of the leg. But James said Justin, their offense is good enough to get by. Yeah, Monra and Goff.
For sure. Yeah, they got lots of weapons there, and Jamison Williams has emerged as a legit weapon as well.
Justin said Bears could be the 7th seed. Yeah, it's very doable. All of our NFC North can be in it.
Yeah.
James said that's our future for the next decade. I think he means like the top in NFC North. And then James also says, make no mistakes about it, though, 2 guaranteed wins against Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay, AFC East.
All right, AFC Steelers, definitely a team to watch. They've definitely been overperforming so far.
So I just looked up the weather for Sunday in Jacksonville. It's going to be 60 for the low and 80 for the high with sunny. It's going to be a hot day.
Yeah.
Do you like the white jerseys that we wore Sunday?
Yeah, I thought they were pretty good. Yeah, I thought they looked clean, very nice.
What was your thoughts about the gold stripe, not gold stripe, down the middle?
Yeah, I've heard people talking a lot about that. To me, it's a non-issue. It might make it better. I don't know. I've seen, people photoshopping it in and stuff, looking at those pictures versus without. And I don't really care too much, to be honest with you. And if it's one game a year, I'm totally fine with it. Certainly, I don't want them to be their new uniforms, but they're not going to be, it's still green and gold. And so I think it's actually honestly kind of cool to have, to mix things up one game out of the year.
I heard we're supposed to be wearing the Salute to Service jerseys this year, and I'm excited to see those because we haven't seen those in a while. I feel like
Yeah.
the camo, and we're wearing our alternate 50s too. What are
Mhm.
your opinions about the alternate 50s, the 50s jerseys? Do you like them?
I don't have a huge preference.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I like being able to mix it up,
Yeah.
with throwback jerseys a game out of the year, like I said. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I think it's cool.
Justin said, "Wear white uniforms in prime time." Yeah, I agree. I don't. Do you
Yeah, that
think
would have
the
been.
Texans and Packers game should have been in prime time
I feel like it should have. Yeah,
versus that Jaguars and Jets game or Steelers and Jets game, which ended in bad. Aaron Rodgers just kept throwing interceptions after interception after interception with
Yeah.
Devontae Adams. What?
yeah. I'm not real sure why. Why? Yeah, the NFL keeps putting the Jets on prime time. Apparently, they think they're gonna get good sometime, or I don't know. Maybe people like watching the Jets. I mean, I get it. I guess it's Aaron Rodgers, and now Devontae Adams, but that certainly didn't really look all that great. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
I don't know. Wait, you said whoever's in chat. Who do you guys have winning? Okay. So we have final 3 questions. I don't know. We'll do that later. Because like I told you in the preseason or post-show, pre-show, whatever it is, we are getting close to 1 year. However, we're going to start adding like 1 year questions kind of into the show for a little bit. Chargers and Bucks win tonight. Okay. So James kind of thinks the same way as you do.
Okay.
How have you seen yourself grow in terms of the podcast over your guys' podcast?
Yeah. Just getting better at the actual, presenting part. And also I've tried to improve the show just as far as, slowly, getting more social media platforms, setting up accounts there. And also just, I just recently, well, I mean, I guess I've been doing it for a little while now, but started doing actual video podcasting on YouTube. So while before it was basically audio only, just, on audio platforms. So yeah, just slowly, improving it in those ways and then just getting better myself and the actual delivering of the podcast.
Yeah, because when I subscribed to you, you were just audio. You were like a small channel back then.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm still a very small channel. I think I have less than 50 subscribers on YouTube. So it's not something that grows fast. I mean, there's a lot of competition in the sports podcasting industry for sure. A lot of people like to do it, and it's it's something that there's just a lot of different shows out there for sure, but I like doing it. I consider it more of a hobby than anything. And so obviously, being able to continue to grow the show is a plus, but if I can continue to talk about the Packers and do what I enjoy doing, that's a win for me.
What is your favorite thing about podcasting, and has it changed when you first started? I know you kind of basically just answered this